Next up on our agenda is Aaron Phipps. I think everybody knows Aaron, and he's going to talk about how automation can be used as an employee development platform and a cost savings tool. I can tell you from our operation, Shellcast in Montague, Michigan, we are very impressed and dedicated to the use of MPI equipment and a great company to work for. So, Aaron?
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, ICI. I want to start by thanking Lamma Thermic. They really supported us in this. All the data, all their numbers are what we're using in this presentation. So I want to thank Lamma Thermic. I want to thank Jacob Kitchen, runs our technology center. Chris Boylan really helped me get this paper together, and all of the MPI team wouldn't be here if it wasn't for everybody back home. This is what people know MPI for and think of us often, right? We've been making injection machines for over 50 years now. What a lot of people don't think of MPI for is our technology center. So we have another business unit where we produce the waxes. We do everything from making just solubles, making some overflow parts for customers, to full automated assemblies. In the case of Lamma Thermic, we provide them with a producer's worth of assemblies about every week. So they get an extra day of production every week utilizing our wax room. When we got into automated assembly and got into the technology center about 10 years ago, we realized very quickly that we were pretty good at the injection part of it. We've done it, we've known it, we've built the machines for a long time. The manual assembly was hard. It was hard for us to train, it was hard for us to get into it. We did get pretty good at it, and with working with Lammo, we came up with kind of some requirements of what a piece of equipment would look like if it was possible to build it that would support automated assembly for a commercial job shop foundry. So what are the results of that? Well, the obvious result is we did get a new product out of this. We were totally shocked and kind of blown away by the impact it had on the culture and how we hire, how we engage with our team, how they engage with us, and the change that it's had not only in our technology center, but throughout all of MPI. In order to get there, we need to go through what does it look like, right? We need to set the baseline. So the baseline is manual progression when we get a new employee for wax assembly. For 4 to 6 weeks after that, right, they're going to be trying to get to the standard. And again, some operators may never be able to hit the standard. Standard by definition is the mean, right? Graphically, this is what it looks like. So this is the progression of the manual operator. We are defining for this paper operator efficiency as a measurement of a person's ability to weld 3 parts per minute, and there's simple parts. We're talking small parts, single gates. Now you guys have hired people. This is a little bit more realistic of what it looks like, right? We found that it takes 1 in 5 people. So if we bring on 5 people, we might get 1 person. You're roughly looking at 10 to 18 weeks worth of investment to find that 1 person before you can start training them to become the operator that you need. And again, given today's environment, we very well may be compromising that. When we're automating this process, so what does it look like when we're engaging with the new 2012 automated assembly? This is the difference graphically, right? So this is what it looks like. We're up to speed and running at standard within 2 to 3 weeks using the automated equipment, where the manual is taking us 8+ weeks to get that person up to speed. It's a huge investment. When I was preparing this paper and looking at this graph, you know, I'm an engineer, I'm used to looking to the area under the curve. I spent a lot of time in calculus, but it jumped out to me that what's really interesting here is the inverse. Although it's not an exact representation, the area above the curve, certainly in that first beginning here, that's the part that we have a hard time measuring. This is the investment that I'm putting into. It's taking off another person off the line and sitting them next to the operator. It's the person who's inspecting it. It's all the energy that you're putting to onboarding this person, to bringing them up to speed, to training them how to follow the process. And then this is the same graph, only this is looking at product efficiency. So this is parts per hour going out. Not only are we getting up to speed and up to standard, but the standard for automation is 2 times that of a manual operator. The machine hits 6 parts per minute. What's nice about the machine is it hits 6 parts per minute every time. We'll look at this as far as the dollars. What does that mean to us in the first 8 weeks? What that works out to is a $90,000 opportunity gain in the first 8 weeks of onboarding somebody. Now, I'm not saying that we are able to achieve a $90,000. We're able to recognize that. I have other bottlenecks in my facility. I have other, I don't have enough work, frankly, going through to be able to hit that. I was at capacity. Now we're not at capacity. We've reduced that bottleneck. And this is looking at a trained person versus the machine first 8 weeks, right? So we're not talking about the person that didn't make it and all those costs of the people that weren't a fit. Again, graphically, this is what it looks like, right? So we're talking about the difference between these two. We're able to put out 3 times as much, and we're able to get somebody up to speed much, much faster. One of the things that you'll notice is that on the very first slide, first 2 weeks, the first day, a brand new operator is outpacing the 20-year-old veteran. Of course, as we automate, we get a lot of consistency. I decided to show these because the machine is so flexible. This is one recipe, made all 3 of these assemblies. These are actually 3 different assemblies. I wanted to see how well it would do, and frankly, I didn't know if it would, so I took a hot runner out, I bent it over my knee, I put it in the machine, and we ran it. And it continued to produce perfect assemblies without any programming changes. And that part-to-part spacing consistency just is at the beginning of the run, right? So that's going to go through the rest of our customers. It's a higher quality product that we're able to deliver. Again, this is the fun part, though. So now, the best way that I can show you the impact that it had on my team is to let you hear from my team. So we got a quick 3-minute video here. I hope you enjoy it. I learned a ton getting to make this video, and I hope you learn as much as well.
Everyone, my name is Jose Finque. I work at MPI in Poughkeepsie, New York, and I work as an automation technician.
I'm James Aronzauer, and I've been here for 2.5 years.
My name is Erica Scarlett. I work for MPI as an automation machine operator.
My name's Jacob Kitchen. I've worked at MPI for 5 years now, and I am the pattern production technical coordinator.
To me, all the machines are big toys.
If we didn't have the automation, do you think you'd still be here?
No, I came in here and I saw this place and said I want to work there. That's why I was willing to take the pay cut that I did to work here. They can do their minutiae is perfect. And even if you come into a job, if you haven't learned the little minutiae, they already know it. You can do more. Your productivity goes up astronomically.
Yeah, so a couple months ago, I was asked to help out in the technology center. You guys were in a tight spot with having to get out in large order. And so I was a little worried as to being the fact that I've never worked there before, and I don't really know what they do there since I'm also new at the company. But just from a couple minutes of having been taught how to work the sticky wax and run the machine for about 5 hours, getting about 600 or 800 parts out.
I was able to make production right away because the machine do the work. I just unload it.
When you saw the automation, did you feel you'd be able to make a career at MPI?
Yes, I wasn't sure I was going to get hired, but when you called me, I said, yeah, I'm going to jump on it.
Coming into MPI, seeing the type of equipment we make and use, it really got me excited, got me interested. It's really made my life a lot simpler. The ability to have anyone perform any task because the process lives with the cell really opens up options. People are working towards their strengths. So automation's allowed us to be a much more dynamic team and really satisfy our customers' needs.
There's so much fun to be had. The capabilities that you can do, and the future's right there, and I see it, and I want to be a part of it.
So that was some of our team in the technology center, and as you saw some of the guys that came over. The human benefit, and this is the part that I really love and am very passionate about. It's allowed us to have a really immersive employee engagement. What do I mean by that? I mean that when an employee comes in on day one, they are creating value for MPI. It is a huge boost to their confidence and their feeling of success within the company. It allows for a career growth path, right? So we saw that with James. So he was the last one there speaking. He came in to work in the technology center. He would not have come to MPI if we didn't have this type of equipment and this ease of use to get into it, and something that he felt he could succeed at. As you saw, he took a pay cut to come to us. He makes more than that now, and he's actually building electrical panels. He succeeded. He saw an opportunity. He learned where his passion was within the company, and we were able to move him. Again, it was a very low cost of entry for MPI, so it was very easy for me to move him on, knowing that I can get somebody to fill in behind him. It increased our team flexibility. As you saw with Jose, he does not work in the technology center. We had a customer that wanted us to get a shipment out in less time than we had hours in the day. We needed to run into the night. I asked my team, I said, hey, is there anybody within MPI that's willing to work some extra hours? We'll show you how to use the equipment. He came in with a matter of minutes. He'd never picked up a wax assembly before. We had him making, again, 100% quality welds, running the machine while the people who were trained to inspect the patterns and get him the product were able to do those higher level tasks. But he was able to slot right in and just keep moving. A higher recruitment appeal, and I wish I had gotten this on video, but Erica, you probably heard her, she paused for a minute. She was thinking about, what do I want to tell Aaron in this video? After the fact, after I made the video, I was talking to her, and I'd showed it to the company, and the presentation was submitted, and I said, man, you just did so good on that, and thank you for representing us so well. And she goes, Aaron, I didn't tell you this before, but I didn't come to MPI for a job. I'd been laid off, I was on unemployment, and you know what? It was a nice break. I didn't need a job, I'm not raising my kids anymore, unemployment was fine. I came to MPI to check a box, but I saw what you do, and I knew I wanted to work there. And she is a joy to work with. She lights up the room, she is fun, she is energetic, and she is dedicated. But she wasn't looking for a job. Not what I thought of as manufacturing. We get this all the time. People just have an impression of what manufacturing was, what our parents did, what their parents did, and automation, getting this stuff out, is helping to show it's not what we think of it. And our team says that over and over again. People come into MPI and they go, wow, this is not what I expected. This is in Poughkeepsie, we do this, you sell where? And they take a lot of pride in that. Increased our ability to focus on the team. Again, we capitalize on the fact that I can bring a temp in and have them running perfect assemblies in a matter of minutes. And then I can spend my energy, and our leads can spend their energy, making sure that we're integrating our people into our team. They're making part of MPI, building them into the culture, making sure they're a cultural fit. When we're hiring, so this is a list of kind of what Aaron Phipps looked at and was looking for when hiring for this role. These are things that I need in my employees. But today, what am I looking for? I don't need fine motor skills. Can you hold this wax assembly and not break it? Can you hang it on the rack and not shatter it into the next one? If you can do that, then you can make perfect assemblies. and then you can learn the other tasks. I don't need a passion for wax welding. I'm looking for a passion for continuous improvement, because someone who wants to continuously improve, which people do, they're going to succeed. And I'm not looking for a willingness to perform the task. I'm looking for a desire to be part of the team. Again, think back to that graph. I get somebody up to speed so fast now, I don't have to worry about training them. That's not where my energy's going. My energy's going into making sure they're successful, helping them engage in the team, helping them to be part of the team, helping them get comfortable in a very overwhelming industry, something they knew nothing about, showing them that they can be successful, and then allowing them to see all the paths that they have throughout MPI. I've got people that have painted machines for me coming out of the technology center. I got people assembling electrical boxes, building machines, and it's all because they had an entryway in that didn't overwhelm them and scare them away. Once they were in, they understood it, we had them hooked, we could move them through the company. Additionally, I don't worry about cultural fit and ability to follow a standard. You're going to say, Aaron, that is stupid. But it's not. When I'm talking to the individual and the people, and I'm looking for continuous improvement, and I've relaxed, and we're looking for this desire to be part of the team, I already know they're going to be a cultural fit, because that is my culture, right? I know they're going to be willing to follow a task because they want to succeed. They're already checking those boxes, and I don't have to ask the questions to check my box. So it's changed how I approach it. In conclusion, what does this look like? So at MPI, we're able to capitalize on that huge increase in productivity in the first weeks. Like I said, I can bring a temp in, I can bring somebody from another department. I don't need to have specialists in assembly anymore. It's just not an issue for me. Reduction in rework. Less defects means less opportunities to miss it, which means less opportunities that my customer has a defect in metal, which is far more expensive to fix and far more costly. We have an opportunity for higher density trees. I change one input, and suddenly I get an extra row of parts on the tree. Spacing's perfect. Want to try 2 extra parts, spacing's perfect. We send them over, they cast them. If it goes through casting trials, great, we do it. If it doesn't, fine, we continue to run it the way we were running it. It doesn't cost me anything. We have increased consistency in all post-wax processes. When you input higher quality parts into the system, you start seeing where other limitations are in the system, and we can focus on that. I have increased engagement in my team. I think you saw that in the video. And we have more time to focus on the non-value added processes. So instead of training on how to do the task of welding, I'm training my team on how to create flow between the presses and the assembly. And we're putting out so much more product than we ever were before. And then just to increase focus on soft skills. We're focused on how our team works together, how they interact with each other, and really helping them in those soft skills. And the reality is, when you look at it, a lot of the people that are doing these jobs, they're very smart, they're very talented. They didn't have everything that I had. Like, I had a lot of luck in my life, right? Like, I have my parents, I had this great company that I was able to work into, I have an awesome education, I'm dyslexic, I had a lot of support with that. I've learned a lot of skills in my life, and some people didn't. I mean, some of the stories of my team, when we start talking to them, and they've been through a lot. They're tough people. They're smart. And when they know that we hear that, and we see that, and we value them for that, they thrive. All in all, that really boils down to automation, when done well, is intuitive, it's engaging, and it solves problems. And additionally, it drives the bottom line.